The crowd roared, their excitement palpable as the game began. The ball was in play and the energy in the arena was electric. Chris Paul, the veteran point guard for the San Antonio Spurs, was orchestrating the offense with his usual precision and skill. He had the ball in his hands, eyes scanning the court for the perfect play. Suddenly, a questionable foul was called. Paul disagreed vehemently, one technical foul, then another. The tension was palpable. Just like that, Chris Paul was ejected. The arena was stunned, commentators were speechless, unable to comprehend what had just happened. The game had barely begun, and the Spurs were without their leader. The shockwaves were immediate, rippling through the team and the fans alike. Fans took to social media, erupting in a frenzy of disbelief and anger. Tweets and posts flooded in, questioning the fairness of the call. How could this happen so early in the game? Was the ejection justified? The discussions were heated, with opinions divided. The debate raged on, but one thing was clear. The Spurs were in uncharted territory. Without their star player, the path ahead seemed uncertain and fraught with challenges. Some argued that Paul's ejection was the result of his own doing. His actions on the court, combined with his history of challenging calls, made it seem inevitable to some. His reputation for being outspoken and confrontational with officials had preceded him. Many believe that his constant questioning of calls and his fiery demeanor contributed to the decision. Had he finally crossed the line? Was this the moment where his behavior could no longer be tolerated by the officials? Others defended Paul, claiming that the referees had overreacted. They argued that the officials were too quick to pull the trigger on technical fouls. The technical fouls seemed excessive, especially given the early stage of the game. Critics felt that the referees should have shown more restraint and allowed the game to flow. The debate highlighted the often tense relationship between players and referees in the NBA. This incident was just another example of the ongoing struggle for balance. It sparked a larger conversation about the league's officiating, the enforcement of technical fouls, and the balance between maintaining order and allowing players to express themselves. The incident with Paul became a focal point for discussions on how the NBA should handle such situations in the future. Chris Paul's impact on the Spurs was undeniable and far-reaching. His leadership experience and basketball IQ were invaluable assets to the young and developing team. He was their floor general, their calming presence in the midst of chaos and uncertainty. His absence left a gaping hole in the Spurs' game plan and overall strategy. The Spurs, already grappling with injuries to key players, were now tasked with navigating the rest of the game without their captain and leader. Young stars like Wembanyama were thrust into unfamiliar territory. The pressure was on them to perform. The Spurs, despite a valiant effort, fell to the Trailblazers that night. The game was intense, with both teams showcasing their skills and determination. The crowd was on the edge of their seats, witnessing a battle of wills and talent. Paul's ejection served as a harsh reminder of the importance of composure and discipline. It was a pivotal moment that shifted the momentum of the game, leaving the Spurs to regroup and find their footing without their key player. It also exposed the team's vulnerability in the face of adversity. The players' dejection was palpable, but it also sparked a determination to overcome and learn from their mistakes. Moving forward, the Spurs will need to learn from this experience. They must analyze what went wrong and work tirelessly to improve their game. The coach's inspirational speeches and rigorous practice sessions will be crucial in this journey. They must develop strategies to handle situations where their leader is unavailable. This includes building a more resilient and adaptable team that can thrive under pressure, regardless of the circumstances. The emergence of young players like Wembanyama offers a glimmer of hope. His leadership and talent are already making a significant impact, and his potential to grow and lead the team is immense. This game, as heartbreaking as it was, could be a turning point for the young Spurs. Only time will tell if they can harness this experience to fuel their growth and success in future games. The road ahead is challenging but filled with potential.